What's going on, folks? Welcome to another edition of Encrypted Connections. My name is Kyle, and I am here. I'm here.
He's here.
This is my co-host, Dewey. He's there.
I'm over here.
He's there. He's
I
over
am
there.
the Dooster, the man, the myth, the legend.
That's right. That's him. He's over there.
I'm a legend
here.
in my own mind.
He's over there. that way. This
You know,
way?
I thought about something earlier. I need to get one of those black eye patches and put on. Who would I look like? Who would I look like?
With a black eye patch on, who would you look like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who do you think you'd look like?
I have to think. I don't know. I forgot it. Oh, Captain Hook.
Okay.
Captain Hook in the medicine show.
All right. Yeah. You could do that. Yeah, we could do that. Get one of those things, man.
I'm going to have to try one out.
We could play up a character every show.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. We could role play.
It'd work.
You'd have to talk like him, though. That's the thing. You can't just wear the eye patch. You'd have to talk like him.
Yeah, that'd work.
Joe called you a damn hippie. Joe says you're a damn hippie. Salty says Long John Silver.
Yeah, I'm a long-haired hippie.
Hey, there's Freshy Fresh. Where's he been? Where you been out there, Chief?
Yeah, he has been gone for a while, ain't he?
You English prick. I get it. You know, most of us here are Americans, so it's hard for you. I understand that wimpy little country of yours. Just kidding. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are all doing well. Surviving, thriving, all that good stuff.
Staying cool, staying hydrated.
Staying cool, staying hydrated. Hopefully you guys aren't getting terrible storms, because just about everybody is, apparently, at some point during the last couple weeks. We had some bad ones here, and but there were some. It's rare for us, dude. We don't get tornadoes here, and there were some tornado warnings here. I forget how many days ago it was. Now it was a few days ago. It was over the weekend.
We had a couple of bad thunderstorms come through last night. One come in from the west, and one kind of come in from the south, and they didn't converge at the same time. We got rid of one of them, and then another one come right in. So it was kind of a busy night.
Yeah. That's crazy from both sides, huh? You're just getting whacked coming and going.
Yep. Yeah, long-haired hippie people need not apply.
That's right.
So I tucked my hair up under my hat, and I went inside.
Julie says it was 100 degrees in North Carolina yesterday. God bless you. God bless you. It was well, I don't know how hot it was here yesterday. It was probably in the low 90s, but we get spanked with that humidity so bad, dude.
Well, that humidity is terrible. I can put up with the heat, just that humidity.
It is awful. it just takes everything out of you, man. Takes everything out of you. Bernie, I don't sweat tornadoes. Sharknadoes are another matter. Agreed. What scares me more than Sharknadoes is Ian Ziering's performance in that movie. That's scary. The Uwari sucked over 100 every day. Yeah, and you ran out of water, you goon.
Yeah, I was worried about them too. I tell you, it's just too hot and humid to be out doing that now.
It's nasty, man. This is
It's
not
terrible. I was worried to death about them.
This is not the time. Like, people always talk about, like, especially with the Bigfoot stuff, it's like, oh, summertime is the best time to be out there because that's when the most reports happen. Well, good. You get your silly little ass out there then, because I promise you, it is only the best time to be out there. Why? Because somebody said that there's the most reports out there. It's terrible. It's miserable. It's not safe. Like, you know, you can overheat, you can dehydrate. It's just bad, man. It's not good. Then you got all the bugs and stuff, the ticks. It's terrible.
It is terrible. It is terrible. It was kind of weird. The day or two before that, I was watching one of their streams, and they were walking down this road, you know, and I noticed Jesse was doing a lot of looking side to side, you know, and I thought, you know, she might be looking down toward the road too, because she could step on a snake real easy, you know, laying there. Snakes will lay in the roadway, you know, when after it gets dark.
Yep, warming up.
The road's warm, you know.
Yep.
And yeah, and then they see this rattlesnake, and I thought, ooh, maybe been a premonition, you know.
Yeah, really.
I worry about them out there in that heat and that humidity.
I worry about them all the time, regardless, man. They could be out there in the cold, and it's the places they go. I was saying it to my mother. I was like, you know, they go to places where there's always a very high like probability of human element, right? They go to these places where there's occult activity, you know, white supremacist activity, you know, weird feral people, all kinds of. It's just a lot of human. There's the high potential for human activity out there, and that's dangerous, man. That is dangerous stuff. Not to mention the other shit, but it's the human stuff that worries me more than anything, man. That worries me more than anything. The paranormal stuff can only do so much to you. It can't, you know, the paranormal stuff cannot kill you. So, you know, but a human can.
Oh yeah,
a human can.
Like Daddy always said, a ghost can't hurt you, but they can make you hurt yourself.
They can make you hurt yourself, exactly. But that'll take a little time, at least. Hopefully, by then you've figured out that there's something going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go out on these investigations where they go and people are out there, and that's instant. You don't got to wait for that. That can happen right away. The cult activity is most concerning. Yeah. I would have to agree. Yes. I would have to agree. I agree. I got to scroll up real quick because there's quite a few comments about this weather, and I believe it was Mary. Was it Mary? Who said it? Hey, Isla. No, it was Julie. I will take 32-degree weather any day. Amen. Amen. You can always put more layers on, man. There's only so many layers you can take off before the police get called.
Yeah.
You know, and even then, if it's hot enough out, you could be out there stark raving naked and still be sweating your woo-ha off, you know?
Yeah.
With
the streak playing in the background.
Yeah. My granny said, don't worry about the dead. It's the living you got to worry about. Amen. Yeah. Amen. Fresh said, them cults are mostly steeped in old rituals and across many generations, a club that can simply make you disappear. Absolutely. Heat makes me ill. Literally, last week when it was 100 for days, I got sick to my stomach and dizzy, and that was in air conditioning. Yeah. Call the police. They still have to catch me. You might be okay, Bernie. I'm sure you've got some connections.
You know, once you get too hot, it takes a while to get over it.
It takes a while, yeah.
A long time. I remember one time I was helping one of the farmers up the road from us picking up straw. It was about this time of year. It was hot. He loaded the wagon down so heavy when he backed it in the barn, it filled up the whole opening of the barn. He got an old little Super 8 tractor sitting in there running the elevator to run up in the upper floor. And it was smoking and using oil and carrying on, you know. And they had the whole door blocked with that wagon, had that tractor sitting in there. And we all like to die of carbon monoxide and heat exhaustion, you know. And I got so hot, I went home. I got sick and went home. And it's a long way to ride a bicycle, you know, when you're sick like that, you know, and it's
Oh
100
yeah.
degrees outside, but it took a long time to get over that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure. I don't do well with the heat, man. I used to not. It used to not bother me. Like, you know, I worked in it for years, doing, doing real strenuous, hard labor outside, framing houses and stuff, putting roofs on. And it was tough. It sucked, but it didn't like, it wasn't one of those things where like I walked outside and instantly I was like, oh, this sucks. I could deal with 70, 80, 85, now I can't even deal with that, especially if there's humidity. I'm so intolerant. My sensitivity to heat is so low that I start sweating like really heavily, even in 75-degree heat. That's tolerable, but it's still uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so, I just don't do well in it anymore. And
Stay hydrated.
I love the fall. I love the winter. That's why, I go out often then, because it doesn't bother me at all. I rather enjoy it, actually. I think it's my two favorite times of year anyway. I love the fall for the crispness in the air and the smell of the dead leaves and the colors on the trees.
Oh yeah.
And then I do love the winter when we get a fresh snowfall, which we haven't had many of lately, but once in a while you get some. So yeah, this stuff can go away. Get it out of here. For the people who like summer, give them 30 days, then take it away. That's all you get from now on.
Yeah.
30 days. If you like the heat that much, move below the equator.
There you go. Yeah, I like spring and I like fall, but the winter, I mean, I can put up with the winter, but summer's hard for me to get managed.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yep, that's right, Mary. The air is so thick. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Well, anyhow, I mean, that's kind of we use that as a segue into what happened this weekend. And you guys can help me be the judge on what you think. So we planned this trip to go to Freetown. Mike has never been. Luci's never been. Obviously, I've been a few times. My feelings about that place were always the same. After the first time I went, I don't like it. It is a very oppressive, dark, sad, heavy place, and for some reason it seems to affect me heavily. Even if it's just in the way that like we go there and I have that like oppressive feeling, like, oh man, it's just, there's just a lot of sadness in there and that kind of thing. I've had some feelings in that place before that were not that were not very fun. This time was different though. This time was different. The whole week leading up to this trip, it was as if there was some outside force that was trying to stop us from going. And this is not hyperbole. This is not an exaggeration. This is me being completely genuine and honest. Everything that could possibly have gone wrong did leading up to this trip. We kept pushing and pushing and pushing to go. because we had it planned for a while. I was admittedly like I was really I had gotten myself like to a place where I was very excited to go. As much as I hate that place, I was very excited to go because I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're going. We're pushing. We're going to use all the equipment I have, all the equipment Mike has. We're going to really do some hardcore investigating in this place, and we're going to get some damn evidence. And that was our mentality going in. So we, you know, I'd gotten myself to a good place mentally, emotionally. Mike was ready to go, and then all these things kept happening. And then we end up going. And even when we got there, it was like something was still trying to tell us to just turn around and go home. Mike booked a hotel. God bless him. Right? Mike booked a hotel. Found a great deal online. Pictures look great online. We get to this hotel, and it is... I've been to some sketchy places in my life, right? As you can imagine. This place is right at the top of that list as far as like sketchiest hotels I've ever been in. It was prostitutes in the parking lot. There were clearly many different types of riffraff, including drug dealers, drug addicts. We get inside, we go to the desk. There's nobody at the desk for like, I don't even know how long, 20 minutes or so. Then finally the guy comes, gives us our keys. We go up to the room. It's supposed to be 2 double beds. It's 1 bed. Go back downstairs, explain to the man that it's 1 bed. Sorry, we don't have anything else. Okay. Well, we're going to have to make it work. So we decide, all right, we'll make it work. You know, one of us will sleep on the floor. Mike decides, you know, he'll sleep on the floor. I'm like, you don't have to sleep on the floor. He's like, no, it's all right. I'll sleep on the floor, blah, blah, blah. We're in the room for about 10 minutes, and then we start seeing, you know, what the room looks like. There's no blanket on the bed. It's just an undersheet and a sheet. That's it. There's no blanket. There's no comforters, no nothing. The sheets are stained. I mean, it's stained, not like a little bit. They were dirty.
Ew.
The floor was bubbling and cracking. There was some weird white shit in the corner of the room. There was no door handle, doorknob, or lock on the bathroom. You could see straight through the hole, and it wouldn't shut and stay shut. Okay. So were you the big spoon or the little spoon? Funny. An aggressive cuddler, yeah. So after a little while, we finally are like, we can't stay here. Because my concern was, and I said this to Mike, I said, here's the deal. You may not understand what these places are like, but I do, right? The people who stay here, a lot of them stay here long term because it's cheap. It's, you know, cheaper. So they stay here long term. Who knows if any of these people have some kind of deal with the manager where, like, when there's people and they see people like us come who are obviously out of towners, right? We're not locals. We're not part of that riffraff. They see people like us come who got scammed by the website, and, you know, we're bringing all these bags in. We got both of us got a ton of bags, right? Not a ton. I had 4 bags because just for gear, you know, or 3 bags just for gear, and you know, so did he. So I'm like, how do you know that this guy who runs this place doesn't have a deal with one of these people who are part of this riffraff group where when they see people like us come, we leave our bags in the room. He gives them a key. They go in the room, take our shit. We get back and we're robbed because there's signs all over the place that say we are not responsible for property left in the room or your vehicle. They're not responsible for it. So who's to say that they don't have some kind of deal, right?
Did you break out the UV light and look around?
God, no. I joked with him when we first got there. We got out of the car and I go, did you bring the luminol? And he was like, what? No. And once we got like started walking in, I'm like, oh my God, if we brought that luminol, that place would look like a fucking Jackson Pollock painting. So we can't stay here. We cannot stay here. Mind you, it's a Friday night and, right outside of Boston. So we find another room. We go to the new room. The new room's nice. In a nice area. It's a nice room. We decide, all right, let's get ready. We're going to go to Freetown. We go to Freetown. It's humid as shit. I mean, like, it is so humid outside. It's disgusting. It's like a 2-mile hike to the ledge too. And it's not a fun hike. It's like very rocky, very soft sand. Plus it was wet out, so it was even worse. Kind of a lot of uphill. I overheated at one point. I was not feeling well. I'm like, damn, man, I was so hot. My clothes were sticking to me. But all that aside, this is where I got really concerned. I could deal with that. If I take a break, I drink my water, I'm okay. When I got concerned was I started feeling like, that feeling of being watched, right? That's not anything weird that happens in these places because there's spirits there. Of course, you're going to feel that. If you have any sensitivity to this stuff, you're going to feel it. Started feeling being watched. We're continuing on. We were joking and laughing the whole time. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I start having this stabbing pain in the back of my neck. And I mean, like, this stab. It felt like I was being stabbed. That's the only way to describe it. It was painful as hell. I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man? Like rubbing it. It's nothing, I can't figure out where it came from or anything. Like, still continue. Now, out of the blue, remember, we were joking and laughing. Everything was good. Out of the blue, I am overcome with rage. And I mean, not just anger, rage. Like, I want to fucking kill somebody. I want to hurt someone. I haven't even told Mike this yet because I was afraid he would be like, what's wrong with you, you psycho? But I had a vision, like not a vision, but like an image, like flash in my head of me beating this Mike. I mean, he's like one of my closest friends. Like this image just popped in my head, like beating this kid. And I'm like, something's not right. Then I started feeling sick to my stomach. Like I was going to vomit. Of course, I'm like, that's just from the heat. But it's so hard to explain because I felt what the heat felt like. This was secondary and it didn't feel like it was a normal, like nauseous from the heat. It was this very strange. I got this weird taste in my mouth. I smelled what smelled like, a matter of fact, it's funny because we were talking about this prior to this, but I smelled what smelled like burning plastic. And then I felt like I was going to vomit. I said to Mike, we need to leave. We have to leave. Because I felt like I felt like I was losing complete control of myself, if that makes any sense. Like I was losing all control of me, all control of my thoughts. Like I was overcome with this anger and rage, then this sadness. I literally started crying. I don't know why, but I literally started crying. I thought I heard at one point what sounded like a woman talking. He didn't hear anything. Then I thought I heard at one point what I thought was a growl. He didn't hear anything. He's not having any of this stuff happen, but I am completely overcome with all of this strange stuff that I just have no explanation for. None. We get back to the car. And on the way out, he started having that feeling like he was being watched too. We get back to the car, and I completely passed out. I mean, like out cold. Gone. The whole ride, gone, out. That night, when we got back to the room, I got in the shower, took a cold shower, changed my clothes. He went to sleep. I went to bed, ended up getting up and going into the bathroom and vomiting 3 times, and it was all just stomach bile. Mind you, we ate a pretty substantial dinner prior to this. So if I was vomiting, I should be vomiting up what I ate. But I didn't, which I thought was kind of strange too. All of this stuff is, I have no like rational explanation for any of it. But I was not myself. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel like myself the next day. I felt like I was in this weird fog emotionally. I was still angry. I was still on edge. Me and Mike ended up like, I was still mad, snapped at him, argued with him. And I'm a really mellow guy. Like it takes a lot to get me angry usually, unless it's like something like you straight up like disrespect, somebody I love or something like that. Then it's on and popping. But like usually it takes a lot to get me to get angry to the point where like I start like snapping and getting angry like that. And I was angry still. I just couldn't figure it out, man. Just not like me at all. And I didn't feel like myself. I know this all sounds fucking crazy, but I am fully convinced that something there was messing with me. Well, I am 100% convinced that something there was messing with me. I don't have any other explanation for it. None. Not when you add all of those things up. Because we went to Hockomock the next day, another place that's incredibly haunted, right? I had none of those reactions there. We hiked. It was hot. It was humid. No, whatever. None of the same stuff happened. None of it. So I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to. I've never felt any of that before in my life. Ever. Never. Sorry, I'm trying to look back at.
So this was all at the second motel y'all went to?
No, this was in Freetown, in the state forest.
Okay.
This was in the state forest. Bernie, I was told that by a psychic medium that I am an empath. I kind of had known this. I just didn't know what it was, like what it meant for a long time. I've always been sensitive to people, like their energy, how they feel. Same thing with the animal stuff, like very sensitive to all that. If there's like negative, bad people around, I generally get very like on edge. Sometimes it'll make me like really tired. But yes, pretty sensitive to this stuff. If I go to a place where there's activity, where there's going to be activity, I can pretty much feel it right away if there's going to be shit going on.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling. And the other thing too was I told him, I was like, look, the hair on my arms were standing up straight, man. And not just for a few seconds, like when you get goosebumps. The hairs on my body were standing straight up for the entire time we were in that area. When we got out of that area, no longer. Everything laid down. I had no more of that static feeling. But this was a first time where I felt like something was just messing with me bad. And there was also a point too where we got to this area where things started getting weird. I had my headlamp on high, and this is going to sound crazy. I had my headlamp on high the whole time. You could see far ahead. I ended up asking, like, I ended up getting the spotlight out of my bag because I thought the headlamp was dying, because all of a sudden I couldn't see. You could only see like a foot or two. It was like this darkness got darker and darker, and it just started swallowing you. That sounds so nuts, I know, but like I checked my headlamp, it was still fully charged. So, but you couldn't see as far. I have no idea how to explain any of this shit, and I know it sounds crazy, but it was not. Oh, he noticed. He completely noticed. No, I didn't keep it under control. Well, I mean, yes, I did to a degree, but it affected me not just then, it affected me the next day. And I snapped at him like over some dumb shit, like stuff that I would never, ever, ever get mad or upset about. Just crazy. It was bad. I don't know that I'll go back to that place. Like, not for a long time, man. Not for a long time. It just was not. Like, everything about it was there's trying to tell us not to go. And I'm not. That's the thing, Bernie. Like, I'm so personable. I try to be kind to everybody. You know, like, I'm really mellow. That's why all this was very strange, man. It was all very, very strange.
Were you still angry about the motel ordeal?
No, I wasn't angry about the motel. I was never angry about the motel. I wasn't angry about it. We laughed. We were joking about it. It was a joke.
You know, most of the time you go in and it's something like that and you're angry, then you're going to attract angry spirits, you know. And
no, I was
asking.
I legit, like, we joked about that the whole time. It was like, you know, I was saying to him, like, oh, you know, imagine the good times we could have had with those grade A hookers out front. You know what I mean? Like, we were joking, man. It wasn't, obviously we didn't want to stay there, but it wasn't like nobody was angry. It was like, yeah, okay, this is just part of for us. We even said it was like, all right, this is a great start to this story. This is going to be a great story to tell this weekend about, you know, how it started in the world's sketchiest motel ever. You know, I love stories.
Can't you imagine a manager sending housekeeping up with a garden hoe to chop the sheets off the bed?
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. But no one was angry. We were in good spirits, man. We were laughing, joking, like, yeah. It was not yeah. Hope says he was laughing on a live before going to Freetown. We were in good spirits, man. And even walking down that path, we were joking. We were joking the whole like walk down, and then it was like almost. It's like you almost walk through this doorway, and it went from light and jovial to boom. Everything changed. Like, instantly, everything changed. And I felt just not okay. Not okay. That place does not like me. I do not like it. And I don't think I'll be going back anytime soon. I apologize. I know a lot of people were expecting, you know, the live and then the follow-up videos afterwards. Trust me, that's the thing, man. I had prepared myself for this. I was so gung-ho about it. Like, I got myself into that place in my head where nothing was going to stop me. I didn't give a shit. I was ready to go. You know, F those bad spirits in there. We're going in and we're going to get some gosh darn evidence, and we're going to stay there, you know, as long as it takes. That's the headspace I was in going into this. And even walking down the path, I was still in that place. Like, yeah, all right, cool, we're here. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is going to be great. We're going to get some shit. It's going to be scary. It's going to be awesome. Let's do it. And then boom, something changed. Something changed. That place is just not It's just not okay. It's a bad place, man. It's a bad place. And I will say this. I know there's some people out there who have a hard time believing in like being sensitive to this kind of stuff. But I wasn't me that night, man. I wasn't me. I wasn't me that night. I wasn't me the next night. When have you ever known me too? Like, number one, like I don't get angry. I'm very mellow. I'm really chill. Like I usually am very kind and nice to everybody, even if I don't know you. But you know, like whenever I go to these places, the first thing that I do is like I go live as soon as I can, try to bring everybody along, and for the life of me, like I didn't even have the thought to do that, which is weird. I know it seems very like a minute detail, but to me, it's like that's what I do. I live stream these things, and I just didn't even. It was like something was trying to keep me like separated, and if that makes any sense at all, if it makes any sense at all, it just
Something's
wasn't.
trying to possess you, maybe.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was just bad. So next day we go to Hockomock, right? We go to Hockomock. We're out in the power lines. Actually, I'm still waiting to hear back from Luci about because the only thing we could use there was the spirit box and the recorders because we were underneath the power lines. So the REM pod was going off just by putting it on the ground.
Yeah,
that's how much electricity was coming off the power lines, right? REM pod didn't work. The hell's the other thing there? EMF detector didn't work. The tri-field didn't work because of the power lines. We couldn't use any of those things. We could only use the thermal, spirit box, and the EVP recorder. And so we had asked a bunch of questions. Still waiting to hear back from Mike if he has listened to any of those yet. I don't know, but interesting spot. Same thing. At one point, I thought I had heard a voice coming from the swamp. And then thought I caught a very glimmery light. But you know, none of that stuff that happened at Freetown, none of those feelings, none of that weirdness, none of that at Hockomock, you know, none of it. So I don't know, man. Time I ever saw you a little annoyed was when you had that Breaking Bad Bigfoot guy. Oh yeah. And I wasn't even mad. I was just like, I was aggravated, but I wasn't mad.
It's just a difference of opinion.
It was just a difference of opinion, and I was trying to get that across. Like, dude, you can have your opinion, I can have mine. Like, why is it got to be this big issue? So. Yeah, so I apologize for that. I wanted to, it was the first time I'd gotten out in a long time. And I wanted to bring you guys something really good. And I wasn't able to bring anything. Hoping that maybe we caught something on EVPs, but I don't know. Nothing worked out right. And then the weather got shitty. Saturday night, rain, thunder, all that stuff. So it's just like everything. There was something working against us the whole time, man. Something working against us the whole time. You know, I do. I never asked this, and I because I hate to ask. But you know, part of the reason that I like doing this stuff gets difficult is because you know to go to these places and to do these things. You know, YouTube's not paying for somebody like me. Like I have to pay for this stuff all out of pocket, and it adds up. Like, it's hard to explain to people just how much all of it adds up when you know everything from just to have a StreamYard account and to be able to do the show the way that we do it. You know, I have to pay StreamYard every month. I have to pay Epidemic Sounds every month. I have to pay Canva every month. I have to pay CapCut every month. I have to, to be able to edit videos and edit thumbnails and do all these things. All that stuff costs money. Obviously, travel costs money. Hotel rooms, Airbnb, the car, that kind of stuff. I put all my own money into trying to take care of these cats. So they have someone to take care of them. And then now I got all these medical things going on. That's just ridiculous. So if there's anybody out there who really wants to see more, because I want to get out more. I do. I want to go to these places. I had to miss Pennsylvania with Alex and Brian and Mike and them. I had to miss Florida. I couldn't do those two just because I just didn't have the funds. So, I hate even saying it, but if there's anybody out there who really enjoys seeing that stuff, then please just consider donating a little bit, because it's tough, man. I've just gotten to the point where it's I don't know how much more I can do it. I don't know how much more I can do it. It's just, it takes a lot. It takes a toll. And when, and then, things like this weekend was just a total loss. A total loss. Didn't even get anything out of it. It's just hard, man. Just hard. And it starts to take the wind out of your sails because I do love this stuff, but it's just difficult. It's difficult. If there should be some kind of I don't know.
Sugar mama.
Well, yeah, that maybe, yeah. No, I don't know. I feel like the way that YouTube goes about their payment stuff is just crap, man. It's just crap. But yeah, paying Dewey's salary, it's just difficult. He demands a lot.
I was going to ask for a raise, but man, you come out with that story, I guess I'll just wait till later.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait, man. I ain't got it right now, partner. But so that's what happened this weekend. I won't go back there. I don't think, not for a long time. If I go back, it's gonna have to be with a pretty large group of people. Just so I feel better about it, because going with just two of us, you're so much more vulnerable, man. And you're hiking two or 3 miles way the frig out there into the woods. If you got to get out of there quick, it is not an easy hike out, man. It's a bitch. Working the parking lot outside Mike's hotel. I did consider that. Yeah. I might.
Reckon one of those hookers was maybe a voodoo priestess or something, maybe,
Yeah.
Put a spell on you.
She could have. It's possible, man. It's possible.
You got to pay them,
I don't know. Something was going on this weekend. That's for sure. I said my protection prayer. I did all the stuff that you're supposed to do. I just feel like something had it out for me. Something. I feel like it was twofold, though. That's the weird part. I feel like there was something that was messing with me, and at the same time, there was something that was trying to protect us from going there the whole time. Oh yeah, the super chat thing. I tell people that all the time. Please don't super chat. I mean, I appreciate it, but YouTube takes 40 to 50% of that shit. It's ridiculous. Every way they possibly can take money from you, they take it. So that's if you feel like you can, my PayPal and my Cash App are in the description. Or become a member, because I don't think they take think they take any of that. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong. You know,
That's what I
it's
was.
just hard for small channels, and I don't think people understand how hard it is. I'm a regular dude. I'm not a rich guy. I'm not. And this last year has destroyed me. I mean, like financially, it is absolutely whooped my ass. And so, you know, trying to continue this and keep it going because I enjoy it. I think most people who come here enjoy it, especially when I'm able to do the live from the field, and when I'm able to produce a video afterwards that's, you know, fully edited and all that stuff. So I'm trying. You know, I just have to be. I hate to say it, but I had to put it out there and be honest. So I would never dream that either the ground or spirit could cause the kind of anger I saw take over my sweet teenager. He said he felt it. Sounds so familiar. Oh yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It was rage. It was rage. I went from completely normal to the, you know, laughing, joking, to literally like I wanted to bash some people's skulls in. I know that sounds crazy, right? I get it. I know how crazy that sounds. And I literally like remember shaking my head like, oh, what the hell? Like this is not right. Something's not right. I need to get the hell out of here. But I still kept trying. I kept pushing. Like, look, you know, we'll keep going. Then finally, I hit that wall, man. And when I felt that, this is what I felt. This right here. I felt this. That's what I felt. Like someone had grabbed my throat and squeezed. That's what I felt. And I'm like, time to go. I gotta get the hell out of here.
I heard that.
Yep.
Do you have a crucifix or a Bible or anything with you? Or?
Nope. No, you know.
Or even a crystal, maybe?
Maybe I shouldn't listen to Joe anymore. Joe tells me not to bring any of that stuff in there because it keeps the activity from happening. To use it afterwards. Maybe I shouldn't listen to Joe. Joe and Jesse obviously have a bit of a death wish, I think.
It sounds like you were on the verge of being possessed, the way it sounds like to me. Well, you describe it, you know. Your head didn't spin around or anything, did it? You know, like on The Exorcist?
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
That's what it sounds like. You were something was trying to possess you.
Creepy shit, man. Creepy shit. I didn't pick anything up. I didn't touch anything. I never touch anything in those places ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. I don't touch shit. Whatever's there stays there. I don't touch anything. It's not mine to touch. It belongs to the land. It belongs to whatever's there. It can keep it. This is not going to stop me from going to Norwich State Hospital again in August. When RPG comes up here, I still will be going there. I've been there multiple times. It is a incredibly active place. It is one of the scariest places I've ever been in my life, but I never ever have felt like something was trying to do that to me there. Things scare you there, you know. They knock on shit, they throw shit, they, you know, make loud noises, you see shadows, all that stuff. It's scary, but Freetown is a different kind of animal. The amount of violence that has taken place in that forest, you know, King Philip's War was the most bloody battle on American soil per capita. Okay. 10% of the population or something like that was killed during that battle.
Wow.
In 10% of the population in that area. So per capita, it was the bloodiest battle on American soil. And the way that the English colonists went about winning that war was very dirty. They did terrible, terrible things. They lied. They went against every rule of war that there was to the Wampanoag people. And so that's what started that place off. And the Wampanoag people cursed that land. And then afterwards, you had just years and years and years of terrible things that happened there, from the occult activity inside of Freetown State Forest that continues to this day. Rituals, animal sacrifices. Some people say human sacrifices. There were occult ritualistic murders there. 3 people got killed in a ritualistic way by Carl Drew, Robin Murphy, and I forget the other chick's name. Robin Murphy was sentenced to life in prison back in 1980. She was paroled the day before we got to Freetown. How fucking weird is that?
Weird.
How weird is that? Right? So there's a strange coincidence, right? She's supposed to be in jail for life. She was paroled the day before we got there. So I don't know how this stuff works, man, but if the land and the spirits know and they're aware, here's a person that contributed to some of that stuff. And she's released. I wonder if they know. I wonder if the spirits know and they're like, oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. And things get dark when someone like that is released. I don't know. But you also had serial killings of prostitutes. You had the Mary Lou Aruda, who was a 15-year-old girl who was kidnapped and then murdered, tied to a tree. And by the time the police came, she had been tied to the tree around her neck. And when the police found her, her head was in her lap. There was a dead baby found in a garbage can there. There was a bunker that was dug into the side of a hill, and there was 2 stools that were fashioned out of stumps, but they were the size of stools for children, small children. There were baby toys, there were baby clothes, there was rope and duct tape. And they found out that this elderly couple was taking these kids and abusing them in this bunker. There was a shack that was built by this occult they were doing terrible things in. I'm forgetting things, but this is just some of the stuff that's happened. Yeah, it's part of the Bridgewater Triangle. Yes. It's an awful, awful, awful place. Awful place. Terrible, terrible, terrible things have happened there. There are reports of UFOs. There's reports of Bigfoot. There's reports of other weird creatures that people have they don't have a name for them. They don't know what to call them because they've never seen anything like it before, but they've seen them in that forest. Big glowing yellow eyes, something that resembled a bat, but the size of a man. Like, just weird shit, man. And you don't know who's to say that this stuff isn't drummed up when they do these sacrifices and they perform these rituals. You don't know what you're letting in.
Exactly.
Don't know what you're letting in, man. It's a bad place. I do not recommend people go there. Not at night. I mean, go ahead. You want to go during the day? Go ahead. But do not go at night. There's been suicides there. It's just bad, man. It's just bad. Yep. It was an armed conflict between 1675 and 1676 between a group of indigenous peoples in Northwest Woodlands. Yep, that's right. Evil breeds evil. You're absolutely right. I believe once there's like something really bad that happens on a piece of land, like something really violent, really sad, really nasty, that land has a wound on it. The land itself has a wound. And what happens is it attracts more bad stuff to it. The Conjuring House is on the land that King Philip's War was fought on too. So go figure. If you know about the Conjuring House, you know, supposedly one of the most haunted places in America. And it's on the land that this King Philip's War was fought on. That's not the only thing. Like when you look at the history of the towns in the Bridgewater Triangle and surrounding it, there was a lot of shit that, like, economically, places died. They could, towns were like, most of the businesses would get just shut down and boarded up. You couldn't keep people there. Like, it was just everything. Everything had no life. Everything had no life. Bad shit, man.
Sounds like it.
I don't think I'll get that job either, Bernie. I don't think I'll get that job either, buddy. So that's what happened. What are your thoughts, Dewey?
I'm just trying to digest it all. Like I said, it sounds like something was trying to possess you or to take over your body, or I don't know. It's wild. I've never had that kind of experience, as far as something trying to take over or anything, but I've been scared a few times, but I've never had to run out or anything, but
yeah,
I was told to go home 3 times on one EVP, but I didn't hear it till I got back to the house and played it through Audacity, and it come out loud and clear. I thought, I didn't hear that before, I wouldn't have stayed as long probably,
Right. I'll be shocked if there's no EVPs on that recorder from when we were in Hockomock. I asked so many questions about, like, who was there? What's the history there? How long have you been here? Are you a woman? Are you a man? Are you connected to the Wampanoag people? Are you, I asked so many questions. So I'll be surprised. Don't get mad. I will pray for a hedge of protection for you. Why would I be mad? I'm not gonna get mad at that. Thank you. I appreciate it. New England has a ton of weird energy, man. A ton.
Oh yeah. A lot of things went on, at least
Very
battlefields and things like that are known to said all this evil, seeps into the ground, it's there for a while, probably forever.
Probably forever. Yeah. I mean, the witch trials, the Salem witch trials are right
yeah.
they're right around the corner from all this stuff too, by the way. They're right there. I mean, 20-minute drive. They're right there. So you have all of this stuff, like all of it just in this area that's just, it's just bad juju, man. Just bad juju. Yep. I even said to Mike, I was like, we should just pack up and go to Salem. Let's go to Salem. Because Salem, while it's haunted, I've been there many, many times. I love Salem. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I love that place. That town is so cool. So much history. But while it's haunted, it's nothing like this place. The energy is completely different. Completely different. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Okay, you finally made it.
This guy just took a call.
Okay. Okay, all righty. I'll see you when you get here. Love you, baby. She has been stuck on the interstate between Nashville and Clarksville for the last 3 hours at least.
Oh, golly.
And when you pull up a car length and stop, pull up a car length and stop,
Oh, that's the worst.
She finally made it to an exit and finally got off and took my daughter home, and now she's headed back to the house. So That was my cue to warm up the oven and get ready for a pizza.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Bonnie. Freetown State Forest is at the top of my weird places. Freetown State Forest is at the top of my dark places list. It's dark, man. It's just dark. I wouldn't even say weird. It's just dark. There's nothing about that place that I like. Nothing. Not even. And the other part is you go in there and there's like 666 spray painted on shit. There's wooden like stick pentagrams hanging from trees. Like it's just everywhere, man. Everywhere you look in there, you see these things. You see this stuff. It just permeates the air, the ground, everything. It's just not good. Not good. I've been to some really haunted places. Like I said, I've been to Salem many times. Never once have I felt like weird or threatened or in danger there. I've been to North State Hospital, which is considered one of the most haunted places in the country. Matter of fact, depending on who you are, I watch a lot of these YouTube shows where these guys do these investigations, and one of the biggest channels on YouTube said it was the scariest place he's ever been. And it is a very scary place. But again, I never felt like anything there was trying to like harm me or drive me crazy. And that's how I felt when I was at Freetown. He was trying to make something was trying to just fuck with me, man. Just, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Definitely going to mess with you.
I don't like it. I won't go back there. Not for a very long time. So I got to look for some other places to go.
There you go.
Speaking of Salem, I'd love to go up to Salem. I'd love to do a whole like 2 day or two. I am a Salem buff. I know everything there is to know about the Salem witch trials. I know stories that you'll never find in textbooks that I have heard from people who were related to the families that were part of the witch trials from going up there so many times. The historians in town, obviously. I would love to go up there and do a good couple days filming, staying at one of the places, the hotels there that are haunted, and putting together a full hour and a half like documentary about the place. I'd love to do that. And again, that's all if the donations, if you can donate, that's what they would all go to, is that stuff, is all that stuff. So just keep that in mind. Just throwing it out there again. Would
it be better if we just donated to your PayPal account instead of doing you can do friends and family, and they don't usually charge any kind of fee or anything, And
yeah, exactly.
Instead of doing the membership, we could do PayPal friends and family, maybe, And
yeah, that's probably the best, because I don't know if YouTube takes from the memberships. Plus the membership thing. Without, that's the other thing, is having the memberships, like, it's great, but like, I don't even want to ask people to join, because if I can't go out and film, then I don't have anything to put on the membership page. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's supposed to be content for members only. And I don't want to be a guy who's like, oh, join the members thing, but then I don't put anything for the members. Does it make sense? You know what I'm saying? I just don't, I feel bad if I did that, but so, PayPal and Cash App, I think, are the best way to go. They can't take anything from those. But lingering effects. Lingering effects. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like it's a little too soon. I'm still having shit luck. If that's an effect, I'm still having shit luck. Type of thing where if whatever can go wrong will. No dreams. I haven't had any bad dreams. No, I haven't had any bad dreams.
If you had any good dreams.
I don't know. I haven't had any good dreams. I did go to the neurologist today for my Lyme and found out some, some crappy news, but that's par for the course, right? So no, I don't know. I don't think so, man. I've got a phone call. I was supposed to make it yesterday, and I just had all kinds of crap happen, and I just couldn't get myself to even get in the mind space to make the phone call. So I'm going to make the phone call tomorrow to a gentleman who is coming on the show, sometime after the 4th of July. He's an exorcist. And so I'm making a phone call to him. We're going to talk about the trip. We're going to discuss everything that happened and, see what he thinks. He doesn't think, from what we've talked about briefly, doesn't think it was like a possession type of thing as much as it was just like a messing with you, like just really messing with you. His thoughts were like, there are some signs that that are concerning, but like he doesn't feel like it was like a full on possession type of thing. But who the frig knows? I don't know, man. I don't know. I did all what I was supposed to do. I blessed myself with holy water before I went, said my prayer, said my protection prayer right when we got there, like while we were walking down the path. Told whatever's there, you cannot fucking come with me when I leave. Excuse my language, but that's what I said. You need to stay here. So, yeah, we'll see. No shit, Bernie. No shit. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep. So, that's what happened. That's why there's no video. That's why there was no live. There's probably people out there who, when they go into these places and they have something like that happen, their first thought is, turn the camera on, let's go live, show everybody what's going on. My thought was, I don't want this on live. Like, that was the last thing I wanted. I felt like it was like I felt bad. I felt bad for feeling the things that I felt in that moment. I didn't want anyone to see me angry, sick. Like, I didn't, YouTube's not that important to me. Some people think about that and they go, oh yeah, like views, and I'm like, it's just not that important to me. That was like, nope, I don't want to put this on there. I don't want people to see this. I just, it was uncomfortable. It was not fun. It was bad. So anyhow, yeah. I've got there. I still have a very, very, very big announcement that's coming up. I still cannot say anything about it now, but it is a very big announcement. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's a very big announcement. It's very, very exciting. I promise you guys will not be let down. It is very exciting. I still plan on doing what I said with the channel. I think doing more fully edited videos of stories about, disappearances, missing persons, everything, UFO sightings, paranormal stuff, but doing like fully edited videos. I don't know if you guys ever watch like Mr. Ballin or anything like that. That's kind of the route that I think I'm going to take, similar to that. And then what we would do is we would have time at the end of the show to have a live discussion about the story, whatever the story is for that week. So let me know what you think. I'm curious as to what everybody thinks about that. I just think it, you know, a little bit more structure and that kind of thing to the show. We'll still do, you know, your random lives where we just kind of, you know, shoot the shit and all that stuff. But I think having a, you know, a full story, you know, if that story lasts 15 minutes, 20, that's 20 minutes, that's what it lasts. And then I'll edit some footage together, a short video for it. Watch that here, just like you're watching us. And then when that's over, we'll be here to discuss it. I think that's what we're going to do. I like it. I think it's a little different, and you know, it takes a little pressure off. Constantly trying to push for 90 minutes gets difficult. It gets hard. It's a lot of pressure. Not everything can go 90 minutes, you know. And I try hard to keep that time, but it's not, you know. You should collect all the available information about history, things that have occurred in your stomach grounds, maybe do investigation. You're talking about like what, in this area, Bernie?
Yeah, local history.
Yeah.
Weird things that happened and things like that.
Yeah, I could do that. I was gonna do a whole segment show on Michael Ross, the serial killer. If you guys are familiar with him. Killed a bunch of girls back in like the 80s. Prostitutes mostly, but he was from Connecticut. I think he was from like Brooklyn. Grew up on a farm. Really, 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 really intelligent guy. And you know, had a really rough life, like many people who grew up to be serial killers do, but a very high IQ, like many people who grew up to be serial killers do. Interesting stuff, that whole thing. And I could even go to some of the local spots to film where they, you know, things potentially happened or they found, you know, bodies. As much as I don't like going to, that makes me feel bad, but I guess it's part of history. So, yeah. Hey, Ristel, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. What do you got going on, Dewey? What's going on with you, man? What's going on with the Deuster research and development portion of your?
Nothing lately. I'm still trying to come up with some ideas on some more electronic devices and stuff to build, but right now I'm just trying to get a lot of stuff caught up here around the house and where I can actually enjoy it when I get back into it. Between mowing the yard and keeping the pool opened up and this honeydew list and everything else, it's hard to keep up with it right now.
What about the?
Go ahead.
Do you have any? Come on. Do you have any desire to make one of those music boxes, the paranormal music box? You know what I'm talking about?
The one with the bell or the
no, the one that plays music when something gets close to it.
Yeah, I thought about that. Of course, the REM pod will play music if you work it just right and get it in the right channel. You play music with it. But yeah, I've been kind of experimenting with a few things, and I want to convert this into something, and I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with it yet. You know, I want to make its mouth move. You know, I'm gonna try to make this into a REM pod or something. But I just hadn't got around to doing that yet.
The yes or no, man. Have it say yes and no.
Yeah.
You can have the mouth move. Yes, no, yes, no.
Make one eye light up green for yes, and one eye light up red for no.
Bingo. There you go.
Yeah.
You're on to something.
Nose light up for I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There you go.
That'd probably work.
The REM pod rocks, man. Oh, you could do that. There you go. If it makes music, you could have it do the encrypted connections theme music.
I got this one to put in my little Ghostbuster thing.
That's funny, man. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
I'm gonna build a few more sets of those dowsing rods. I gotta go by and pick up some more material for that. I just got a lot of things I want. I'm gonna take a lot of this. Hey, Nick, you preheat the oven to 400. Maybe it's on the way home. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I got a few little things I want to do. I'm gonna take all my stuff. Got down to the Wild Man conference. I think if you put some of that stuff on display, maybe it may sell. I don't know. It's fun to build regardless.
Yeah, bring it down there, man. I'm sure there's some people down there
fun to build.
Who buy it. Got to be someone who's into the paranormal.
Maybe somebody will show up and have some money with them. Maybe
Most of us are, most of us, I think, are cross over at least a little bit between the cryptids and the paranormal, because I think it all kind of goes together.
Oh yeah.
I think it all kind of goes together. Yeah. So anyway, that was my eventful weekend.
Sounds like you had a heck of a weekend.
I did. Yep. And the week is just continuing.
Nice piece of quartz.
That is a nice piece of quartz. That is a nice piece. I'm going to watch the presidential debate tonight. All of it is the unknown. Yeah, that's true. No, I'm not watching that, man. I can't watch it. It's just all.
I don't know if I can stand it or not.
I can't either, man. It's just all freaking depressing. It's just all depressing. I don't want to get into politics because that's not what we do here, but it's bad, dude. This country's bad. I'll tell you what. If you guys want to watch a really great interview, I watched an interview. There's a comedian. His name is Andrew Schultz. Not really a favorite of mine, but it just happened to, I was in the middle of working on the computer and I had YouTube on in the background, and you know how it just kind of goes through videos that you might like. So this video pops up and it's this guy, Andrew Schultz. I can't think of the name of the podcast that he does or the show that he does. But if you look him up and then you look up Andrew Schultz interviews ex-CIA operative Bustamante is the guy's last name. This was an amazing interview that he did, right? There's definitely some comedy, but the heart of the interview, this guy Bustamante, who's an ex-CIA operative, discusses a lot of the things that are going on in this country now, what have gone on in the past 10 years, and probably what are going to happen in the next 10. And it's pretty eye-opening. He discusses everything from the military-industrial complex and how China has adopted that, and what that means for us, to what this election looks like, and what that means for the future. Yeah, Bustamante make the rounds. He did another one with Lex Friedman that was really good too. But I just enjoyed this one. It was a little bit more lax. Lex is great, but he's a little bit stiff. But yeah, this was really good. So if you want to watch a really great interview about what the country's looking at probably the next 10 to 15 years, check that out. Somebody who's on the inside, or who was on the inside, gives you a little bit more, idea of what. Lex can be very low energy, very, very smart guy, but kind of droning at times. That's why I thought the Schultz one was better. I've seen him do quite a few, but I thought that was my favorite one so far. And also I always plug the Sean Ryan show, just because I think Sean is an American hero. Number one.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Special forces badass dude, who's been everywhere, seen it all, done it all, survived to tell the tale, and now is interviewing other American heroes. He pulls no punches about the bullshit that this country, does, and the way it treats a lot of people who were and are military. But he also has guys on like Tucker Carlson who discuss, the UFO stuff and all. It's a great show. If you've never watched it before, watch it. And that's, I don't consider myself to be liberal or conservative. I land somewhere in the middle, I think, like most people do. But I really enjoy that show. A lot of great topics, a lot of great people on there. So if you want to watch something good, that's a good one. Nope, not afraid to talk about any and all hard topics. That's right.
I love to watch his shows.
Yep, he's awesome. He is awesome.
I'm
know.
Supposed to finish up my interview with Seth Breedlove on the Thomas Mantell documentary at Gatlinburg next month, and I'm gonna try to get in there. I can't think of his name now. The Confessionals.
Tony Merkel.
Supposed to be what is his name?
Tony. The Confessionals?
Yeah.
Tony Merkel.
Yeah, Tony, yeah. He's been trying to get me to come up there and get in his studio, but he's going to be there doing some podcast and all there, I think, from the Gatlinburg. So I think I'm going to try to.
You better get up there.
Go ahead and get that done. So.
You better get up there. That man gets some views, bro.
Oh, he does. He does.
Holy shit. You better get up there. Yeah. Yep. And make sure you mention your partner.
Well, I'll do that.
I'm just joking, man. You get up there. You get up there. You get your shine, man. You deserve it. Did a lot of friggin' hard work on that, man. Yeah, he gets some views, dude. Yep. Link up with him. That's great exposure.
Every once in a while, I guess as you get older, it gets worse. I guess to have a brain fart every once in a while, just can't think of a name,
Yeah. Bernie, was that guy he had on, was it Phil? Exploring with Phil? Is that who it was? The guy had a beard? Is that who you're thinking of?
I think so. I believe it was, yeah. I believe you are correct. But you ought to get hooked up with him one of these days and do a show with him.
I talk to Phil regularly. We were supposed to hook up this weekend, and it didn't happen. His schedule's kind of wonky. I think he works nights, so he has to do most of his stuff during the day. But we're planning on trying to get together in August or July. I forget. August 1st, 2nd, 3rd. He's planning on doing like 30 days in a row investigating the triangle, and he's trying to get different people to go out with him every day or every couple days. And he asked me if I would go. I said, yeah, I would love to go. I will not go to Freetown, although he's not really big on Freetown himself either. He thinks the same thing. It's
supposed to get with Heather Mosier on the lower, she's supposed to be scheduling me for a interview there too, but I haven't got back with her yet. So waiting on her to call me back.
You better get back on it.
Yeah.
Definitely hook up with Tony, man. Definitely hook up with Tony. That's a lot of exposure. A lot. Yep. So, all right. Well, let's wrap this thing up, man. People are falling off like flies. It's we're down to 10. So.
Yeah, I gotta get in there and throw a pizza in the oven, and Stitch Witch will be here in a little bit. She'll be hungry. I know she's gonna be mad being stuck on interstate, and I can't blame her.
Yeah, I don't blame her either. Not at all. That's the worst. Yeah, Tony's big into the dog man thing. Tony is big into the dog man thing. But hey, to each his own, right? I've kind of gotten to this point now where it's like, people are gonna believe what they want to believe. I'm not going to spend my energy letting it bother me if they believe something that I don't. Like, go for it, man. You believe whatever you want.
Exactly. Everybody's got their own opinions, and
that's right.
Entitled to their own opinion, and
that's right.
Some opinions are like I say, like buttholes. Everybody's got one Some of them stink.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Yep. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again,
Good night, everybody.
I apologize for not having some good video for you from this weekend, but if you were there, you would understand why.
Oh yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. It was just bad. So I'm glad it's over with. I'm glad to just put it behind me and start new, man. Here, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start new. Guys, have a wonderful night. Please stay safe. If you got people you love, tell them you love them.
Oh yeah.
Life
They won't be here forever.
Life is a fleeting thing, man. It really is. It can be over in an instant. So make sure you tell them. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good night, guys. I'll catch you next time.
And remember, we are not alone. We have never been alone.
That's right. We
Good
are
night.
not. Good night.